to the No Invite Podcast. Yeah.
Season 4, The Process.
Bang, y'all know what it is, man. It's your peoples, it's your folks. Hopefully I got a lighter on me because I'm solo bolo today and I ain't got no one here to help or assist me doing what the fuck I gotta do. So it's just me. This is all you got. I'm here. This episode is 129, I believe. Yes, 129. Once again, we are sponsored by Electric Life Scooters. Make sure that you guys go holla at them. The first ones with the ECVs and all kinds of different personal electric vehicles. Make sure that you guys holla at them, man. I ain't got all the info on me right now because I'm a player, man, and players fuck up. But I'm gonna tell you like this: you could go to electriclife.com and you could find them there. You could also go to their Instagram page at Electric Life on Instagram, Electric Life 2022 on Instagram. Excuse me. You could go there, look at their inventory, set up a meeting. They are based out of the 209 area, Stockton, I believe. So make sure that you guys plan accordingly. They do ship, I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but make sure that you guys reach out and holler at them. Go check out their page. They got a lot of dope personal electric vehicles. We trying to save the world one vehicle at a time. You feel me? In a time in this day and age when we need to do everything we can, we all need to play our part. We make sure that you go ahead and take care of those light ass little fucking trips to the store with a personal electrical vehicle. You feel what I'm saying? Anyways, we're gonna keep it going. It's the No Invite Podcast, and I'm moving and grooving. And as you can see, I said it earlier, it's only me. It's just me, and that's it. And I'm sorry if you're disappointed, but I really don't care. At this point, you know what I mean? I'm doing this shit because I love this shit, and I love being able to get on here and have a commitment and keep something consistent. And not only that, to be able to voice my opinion and hopefully have some kind of common ground with people like yourselves, you highly intelligent individuals that choose to listen to this and all my shenanigans and all my crazy friends and our wild stories and our life and stuff like that. We appreciate y'all. I appreciate you very much, and the whole staff at the No Invite, the whole team. We appreciate you guys for taking the time out to holler at us. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and talk about me a little bit because my podcast one, but it ain't nothing like that. I just I was gonna say, it's a new week. You feel me? Just got a puppy recently. I'm very excited about that. She's a great pup, but I'm realizing that it's a lot more. And I didn't really remember because last time I had a dog that I raised personally was probably in the mid 1900s or the late 1900s for all you boomers out there, Zoomers or whatever the fuck y'all call it. But since I was a kid, basically is what I'm trying to say. So since I was a kid, I haven't had a pup, and I finally got one. I'm very happy with the dog. She is beautiful. She's intelligent. She is very, very sneaky. And she pisses and shits a lot. So anybody out there wondering or thinking about getting a puppy, or even having babies, you know what I'm saying? This could apply to both in this situation. Make sure that you are comfortable with a lot of piss and shit. You know what I mean? Just remember that, not comparing kids to animals and animals to kids or nothing like that, but some people do. Some people, well, at least the animals to kids, you feel me? So, but yeah, it's an adjustment. I'm glad that she's a very smart dog, so it helps. I ain't gotta talk crazy to her or, wonder why the fuck she's doing something stupid, like with bad breeding and whatnot going around. So I could tell that whoever her bloodline is and whoever bred her did a good job. So I'm very happy. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and give a round of applause for Baby D, our new addition. You might even hear her howling in the background because she doesn't like to be cage trained, but that's how it is. And that's how it's going to be, because we must always remember to instill discipline in those that we are in care of. Everybody has to have some accountability, and we talked about that, and that includes ourselves, but we also make sure that, discipline is a form of love. It's a form of self-love too, for those people that don't know. So keep that in mind. Don't be that person that lets your kids or your pets dictate your life. And what I mean by that is they are not the ones driving, you're driving. They're going to be eventually driving their own life, and it's your job to make sure that you guide them so that whenever they are ready to take off and go on to their own, in a child's case, obviously, or as in a pet case, to be able to be social and be able to go around and be able to be taken around people and not have to worry about it and whatnot, and being healthy and functioning, they're going to need a little bit of discipline. We're all going to need a little bit of discipline. We're all going to need a little bit of everything to make sure that we can be as successful as we need to be. What else has been going on? I dropped a vlog finally for The Spread, short film that I starred in and helped, I guess you could say co-produce. Shout out to the whole team, Downcast, Jay Apollo, all the fellas, you know what I mean? I appreciate y'all, man. Once again, it was a dope opportunity. And if you guys are curious and want to know what I'm talking about, first you could go to the RiBirth Media Films YouTube channel. Check it out right there. It's called The Spread Vlog. It's basically a behind the scenes vlog doc type thing. I'm gonna coin that phrase, by the way, vlog doc. So don't fucking bite my shit, you know what I'm saying? And if you do, yeah, hope you chip a tooth, motherfuckers. But it came out really well. It was pretty dope. I dropped it this week. I think it was on 420 actually. So shout out to all my stoners out there that actually got high and at some point watched it. But definitely. So the vlog was dope. The short film is dope. You could go to the channel and you guys could see it there. I got a bunch of different vlogs from events that I like to do. I just like to document shit, for my own personal enjoyment, because one day we're gonna be old and all fucked up, and while we have memories and whatever memories we are able to recall in our senile, shriveled up bodies, at least, the very least, we could go on YouTube and look at how much of a jackass we were at a certain age. Don't forget that we are people growing, no matter what age you are. Don't be weary of anyone that says that they are growing, or they are done growing and they are fully done, because no one is really done. We are all yet to say we're done. The only time we're done is when they took us in that box. You know what I mean? With that being said, a shout out to the fellas once again. Oh yeah, and the Downcast recap podcast is coming. I'm gonna have the fellas back on, the producer, the director, the writer, everybody that had a hand to do with it, the actors and all that. They're gonna join us on the podcast, possibly a Zoom, but it could be in person. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, but that's gonna be fire. It's dope to have the behind the scenes, but it's also dope to have the actual people, because that's just the behind the scenes is just what you seen as we were filming it. I mean, there was a whole process that went into the writing. There was a whole thought process on what, the concept was and which way they wanted to take it and what direction and whatnot. So before we got to the point where it was the behind the scenes, there was the behind those scenes. You feel me? Behind that, that to get it all there, it's not easy. People always remember that anything worthwhile is always going to take time. It's always going to be, just anything that's worth something is always going to be a task. It's never going to be easy as fuck. I mean, sometimes, I'm not going to say every time, but you get what I'm saying. And that, with that being said, also, I've kind of been like on a creative kick lately. I don't know, it's been hard to get inspired when it came to music lately. And I just chalk it up to writer's block. I've been making music for over 20 years, so I'm kind of like in tune with what, how I feel and when to be creative and when to go with it. And when you get on that creative streak, and then when to not force it. So as of lately, I've been feeling really inspired for a lot of different reasons. But, I'm just discovering new avenues about myself as an artist, which is cool, I think. And I'm realizing what I already knew. That when it comes to music, I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of what I'm capable of, because I am not just a rapper. You feel me? There's a lot of other things that go into what I do. And I'm not saying people can't do what I do, but I do what I do. And it's hard, because a lot of people in my situation, they look for validation in the wrong things. So you might be like, yo, and go to Instagram and be like, if I ain't popping, my Instagram ain't popping, or if I ain't got these so many views or streams or whatever, then that's what makes my art good or not, which in a lot of cases is far from it, you know? So it's easy to get wrapped up in that hype and then get like turned off to the point where I've seen people like come in before me, not even before me, come in after me in this music game and start pursuing they start dropping their art, I'm gonna say, and start pursuing whatever goals they have in mind. And I've seen them come and go because they step into a situation not fully understanding that what it takes. Like they see everybody on Instagram and social media or wherever it is that they view this culture, besides actually living it, of course, and they think that it's like easy, or they think that all I gotta do is do this and all I gotta do is do that, and it's gonna pop. And when in the reality is you got to do some of this, you got to do some of that, you got to do some more of this. Oh man, I fucked up. I got to go back and correct what I did before I could get to going with what I was trying to do with this other shit. It's a fucking process. It's always going to be something. And that's the thing. If it was easy, everybody could do it, then it wouldn't be worth anything. You know what I'm saying? Because it is worth something, it is not easy, and it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of side fucking turns and side streets and a lot of fucking speed bumps and setbacks. But I mean, at the end of the day, through all that, you have to try to keep your, how can I say, you got to try to keep your motivation as pure as possible. You know, what inspired you first to make music? So for me, when I got released from prison, I started going back. Well, I came home and I wanted to start really pursuing my music career because I had been making music before that, but I wasn't taking it seriously as far as the business side goes. Studio, boom, we could go. Writing music, getting in the lab, going and performing, I was down for all that, but then there's so much more to it than that. And what I was doing is I was actually relying on other people to do stuff for me when I should have been the one getting myself together and getting it done. And if you're somebody that could team up with somebody, I recommend it. That way you could play your part, they could play their part, and y'all could come together and make something hopefully dope, create something dope that will be recognized enough for you to eat off of it, and that you could actually, sustain a lifestyle. Eventually, that's the goal, in my opinion, you know what I mean? To be able to eat off completely off of the stuff that I create. So, that's cool, but I also recommend, and I tell people all the time, to make sure that you are building within yourself to be able to have the capacity to self-sustain. If for some reason your engineer homie ain't engineering no more, or your video guy just ain't shooting videos no more, because everybody goes through shit. I've seen them come and go. I've dealt with people, they just stop completely, like, because they just got disenfranchised with the whole idea of it and what they thought it would be. It wasn't, and either they didn't realize how much hard work it was, or they did and they thought they could handle it and they just couldn't, and shout out to them, because I give people like that respect, because at least you believed in yourself enough to go try something, and if it wasn't for you believe that you're real with yourself. Basically, you're real with yourself and tell you like, hey, and then after that, your motivation should be the same as it always been, though. Back to that, it's like, I'm motivated by the art. I want to make dope music. I want to make music that I would listen to. I want to make a music that other people that like the kind of music I like would listen to. That's what motivates me. Lately, I've been on a creative tear. I've been really on my shit, because I kind of took it back to my roots when I first came home from prison. I started doing a lot of YouTube beats and mixtape beats and stuff like that. And it was because I had like unlimited production that I stayed inspired. When you have like no boundaries and no limits when it comes to what you want as far as music wise. I mean, as for a rapper, at least it's very inspiring, because now I could basically, whatever mood I'm fitting, I could search up a beat for it, and then I could, I could drop it. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Shout out to all the YouTube artists that allow people to use, the YouTube producers that allow people to use their beats for free. I'm not saying that I'm going to use any beats for free, but what it does allow me to use it and write, like, I look at being creative like the gym. If you're constantly doing it, something, whether it's the same thing or something else completely. If you stay creative and you feed that, it will grow and it will morph, and you'll just see your art just going to another level, in my opinion, because you're allowing yourself the opportunity to actually come up with something and see it through, and just have the soul being satisfied and for doing that. I mean, it's hard to explain, to put it into words. All my creators out there, whether you fucking, you write books or you tie-dye shirts like Hot Mama, or you, whatever it is that you do, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, and it's hard to put what being inspired and creative really does for you. How gratifying it is to see something that you've done, that you've created from concept to reality, and just manifested it. Basically, you manufactured it, made it, manifested it from your mind to reality. So shout out to that. I'm on my creative kick right now, so I'm feeling myself. I've been doing a lot of music, stepping outside of my comfort zone, and just realizing that, taking it back to what had me so inspired and what had me writing so many crazy songs and things that I was really happy with, was just having that freedom. And a lot of times, I think as artists too, we need to be able to have that freedom, and it's different for everybody, because the person that just I know it's just different for me. I can't really say I know what an artist that paints a picture feels like, as opposed to what a musician feels like, because I'm sure they're similar when they see people and they have people observe their art and look at it. I'm sure it's gratifying, and even if it's not really appreciated, I'm sure that it's just dope to be able to have something to show somebody that you made. Whether you make fucking wood carvings or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? But anyways, that's just me. That's what I got going on this week. I'm gonna keep it moving though. We're gonna talk about some subjects and shit that have been out there. I've been trying to avoid doing a solo bolo podcast, because I always tell everybody it sounds like I'm on a rant, but that's just exactly what the fuck I gotta do. Then that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. So be prepared. Warning, trigger zone, rant. It's going down right now. So what we got? What's new? So we got Elon and SpaceX going down right now. He just had another launch a couple days ago. It did not go as planned. I'm starting to realize that I don't know what the fuck we doing wrong. I know he's trying to develop a whole new way to travel to space, but it's like we already could, right? So why is it so hard now? Like, I get it. He's trying to do new technology and shit, but I don't, you know what I mean? Somebody explain that to me. And now, I never said I was the motherfucking sharpest knife in the cabinet. And I never said I was the most motherfucking, the most smartest. I am the Forrest Gump of this podcast shit. I just find myself in the right place at the right time, all the time, every time, 99.9% of the time. Make that make sense to me. So, if what he's doing is to really push the planet and humans in general all the way, hey, then go on ahead, bro. Go on ahead, man, with your big ass head. You big head motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be thinking some shit right now. You gotta be the shit you think about, gotta be thinking about shit. That's how I feel. Like y'all ever notice that? Like, he got the big old fucking Chucky doll head. Like I don't think that there's a correlation between having a big head and being smart. Because when I was little, I used to run around with the George Lopez head. My head was way too big for my body. And I'm not saying that it got any smaller, but your boy grew into his body. But some people feel like their head just don't stop growing and shit. So shout out to the guy, man. Hopefully that he does what he said he was gonna be able to do, and hopefully he could find a hat that fits him. You can't be really mad at this guy. I mean, I heard he did say some shit, like some, little race baiting type shit. So you never know. Everybody got motives or whatever. Maybe he's just one of those dudes that's too smart for their own fucking good. But I mean, the guy officially got you guys to pay for social media. So he's, in my book right there alone, if that's genius. Because for the longest, social media, what we had social media really for, like, man, it's like 10, 15 years now, maybe something like that. And we were talking about Facebook and everything else, maybe a little longer. But since its inception, people were always like, this is dope and it's free and, you know, this and that. That was kind of one of the main things about social media is that it's free. You just sign up for it and you partake. And in you know, technical terms, it is still free. Twitter's still free. And so is what's it called? But I think they know what they were doing from the beginning, and that's why they set up these verification badges and all these other little things, that these perks that were once free but are now you have to pay for them. I think they knew what the fuck they were doing, that eventually they were gonna come and sell everything in the fucking house. It's like, yo, you like the house, but you gotta buy the painting too, though. You can live in this house, but the light costs, the motherfucking water costs, the motherfucking. Wait a minute, that sounds like right now. Well, yeah. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? You get what the fuck I'm saying. They already got us officially paying to drink water. They already got, you know what I mean? So they just took a page out of an old playbook, basically, and got y'all again. But the whole thing was, it used to be like, yo, this is free. I'll never pay for social media. I'll never pay for this. Next thing you know, I'll never pay for plays. I'll never pay for this. Next thing you know, they selling plays, they selling views, they selling not social media exactly selling views, but they sell you you get to boost this. What do you think that is? They opening up the gates. You pay, they let you get a little bit farther, more circulation with your post, and hopefully you get to pay again. So they got us there. You feel me? So then Elon was like, fuck it, we got to take a step further. Let's take away their verification badge and make them pay for it. Make it a subscription. So now, I heard somebody say something about this, and I can't exactly quote it verbatim, but they were basically saying this like, I think it was Cardi B. I'm not sure, but she made a fucking point, you know. And I'm not the one that, you know, follows and listens to mainstream or anything really. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of a recluse, a creepy recluse that, you know what I mean, does his own research and smokes a lot of weed, stays the fuck away from weird people. But yeah, she was just saying that now social media is just it's like backwards now. It's gonna be looked at like the people that are, and this is kind of what I got from it. Like I said, I can't quote it verbatim, but basically it's gonna be like the people that got all these badges are not really gonna be taken seriously like the people that had the badges, because they know now how you got it. You didn't get it because you were doing anything other than paying for it. So what value does that have? Oh, well, it has $11.99 value, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like anybody now. I could go with a scam, fake everything account, a fake ID, whatever, and whoever the fuck they gonna know I'll fucking, you know what I mean? And what? You know, there you have it. So it's like, it's to the point, it's just kind of silly. And she was basically, what she was saying is like, no one's gonna take that shit seriously, and people haven't, you know what I mean? Why? Somebody else put out, I think it was Akon. I seen something where he put out a quote like, I'm not going to pay for a platform that I helped build and shit. And although that was some real fucking shit, like real talk, like I think the next days he said, somebody hacked my account and didn't say that. Yeah, I'm sure you probably had a deal somewhere along the line, because, you know, he be working out there building communities and cities in Africa and stuff like that. He probably had something on the table with Elon, or was trying to get something on the table with Elon. You talking shit, you know. It's one thing I have learned about this new 21st generation, or whatever the fuck century and shit, is that you know, we used to think the billionaires don't, you know, they ain't like us, they're different, they're weird. They're really actually just as petty, if not worse than us. Motherfuckers will do petty shit. They'll do petty shit just out of spite, just to fuck somebody over. You know what I mean? And I mean, you could look at countless examples right now, and Elon Musk is one of them. He went, he didn't like how Twitter was getting at him, so he's like, fuck it, I'll buy Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of wild. I really don't know what to think about it, but I know one thing for sure: I'm not going to pay for fucking social media. At the same time, I'm kind of starting to see the trend, and it's, I mean, the market right now is ripe for somebody to come in and really just kick off a whole new social media, start from scratch, put some shit in play, maybe make it so that some of your original top creators get grandfathered in or get equity in the company, something to make people want to pull them over from all these other platforms. I know that obviously the technology is out there. Whether or not any of these upstarts have the bandwidth for this shit, who the fuck knows? Because Facebook's been firing so long, it got the infrastructure, and we know already that he's a petty motherfucker too. Mark Zuckerberg is a petty motherfucker, had to come out the pocket too. So watch out. Also, yeah, the Facebook, what do you call it? The Facebook class action lawsuits been settled. They got about $783 million for anybody that had Facebook from 2007, I think, to like 2018 or some shit like that. So if you have that, go on and get your money. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all a few podcasts ago that one day we're just gonna wake up and be like, have you ever had Facebook? You might be entitled to money. Call Facebook thelioma and all that other shit. You dig what I'm saying? So stay tuned. See your boys. I'm not gonna say I'm a prophet, but you know what I mean. I'm a prophet. Some money though. I like to profit, but yeah. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Like I couldn't call it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. If y'all want to pay, that's your choice. You just like before. For me personally, a badge or no badge is not going to keep me from fucking with nobody. That should never stop me before. If we're gonna make some music, we're gonna make some business, man. Let's make it happen. Because at the end of the day, all that matters is the money there. Is the deposit coming? You know, the Cash App ringing. You feel what I'm saying? So, anyways, we're gonna keep it moving. Did anybody watch the Garcia versus Davis fight? I basically watched like all I needed to see. It looked like they were gonna kick it off really well, and then he caught what it looks like now. They're like really examining it and saying that it looked like a little phantom punch to the ribs. It didn't really look like a lot of swing or effort or momentum went into it. But at the end of the day, man, you can't be a sore loser. If it is rigged, then you know what you signed up for. Don't be over here talking wild and reckless. You know, Garcia, from what I've seen so far, has handled it like a stand-up dude. He's not making no excuses, but he is kind of like also saying, insinuating weird shit. So, I don't know. The more I see funny shit going on with boxing, and I know y'all have seen it too, anybody that watches sports, you know you've seen a questionable fight, more than a few questionable calls or outcomes. I'm just starting to wonder, and I'm going to say it here, is all major sports rigged? Because I mean, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I've been looking at giving the side eye to the NFL for a while, you know, and I don't know, like it's just one of those things that I could be a conspiracy nut for all you guys know, but on some real shit, I know a lot of people that follow sports feel the same way. We already have countless examples of cheating in Major League Baseball where motherfuckers got caught for rigging and all the other shit that they were doing. I forgot, you know, gambling. Who knows? We have that too, actually. Now, come think about it, in the NFL. A couple players just got suspended. I think like 5 of them, including one from the Lions and a couple other teams, for gambling on NFL sports games. Now, I know most people will think, okay, well, who gives a fuck? Let him bet. But this is the thing, though. It's like eventually, depending on what the stakes are, if he's betting for his own team, he might be inclined to take a fall. He might be inclined to, you know what I mean, and not perform as good as he should to get that. You know, especially now that they're allowing legal gambling, it's going to be a slippery slope because a lot of these dudes that don't really make those big checks, those glue players, those other guys that are not really the marquee players, those guys are going to be trying to get a check somehow. You know, a good thing. I think that's probably a good thing also why they, in college, they allowed them to do names and rights and stuff, because it's like now that the pros, you're able to legally gamble, it's like, you know, the temptation for money is going to be there. And hopefully a lot of these dudes that went to college and you know, maybe didn't do great in the NFL, but at least they had a nice college name and likeness. I believe it's called contracts where they're getting paid. Before, it was not an option for anybody that don't know. Sorry, I'm getting to my little sports rant. For those people that don't know shit about sports, yes, I love sports of all type. So, yeah, but what was I saying as far as that goes? It's just as far as it goes. And yeah, so like the name and likeness, people could hopefully get a bag before they go to the NFL, so there ain't really no dire cases where somebody just says, fuck it, I'm not gonna get paid. I'm a mediocre player, or maybe just a player with some bad luck. I gotta make a move. You know what I'm saying? Give me everything you got on red. You feel me? But I can't call it. I kind of feel like the only thing I'm gonna say basketball still kind of seems legit. only because there's just some things that's hard to fake. You know what I mean? And I don't think on any of these, I'd like to think at least in any of these instances, it's not the players that are throwing the games. It's the refs that they have in play that are swaying the outcome of games, because I think it's too complicated for, it's too complicated to let everybody in on it and try to, rig it like that. Now I know that Arian Foster, ex-Texas running back, I think it was running back. Was it Arian Foster? I'm pretty sure it was. Forgive me if I don't know. I am a stoner, by the way. But Arian Foster, a few months back, came on. I think it was a show. I forgot whose it was, and basically said that the NFL was rigged, scripted. You get a script at the beginning of the year, and once again, the internet was undefeated because instead of anybody trying to even hear him out, the memes came out. You know what I mean? They gassed his ass with some memes and shit. So because of that, no one really took it seriously, and I don't think that's really a feasible plan. Somebody would have been spilled the beans, man. These motherfuckers can't even keep their pistols off Instagram. You feel me? Somebody would have been said something, and we would have been known and found a way to expose all that. If that's the case, I really just feel like it's officiating because it's less people. They're not people that are thirsting for attention, so to speak. They kind of get them, to be low key. And they're already well paid. You feel me? They just probably get a little bit more, and their cash app probably ring different than ours. You dig? But I kind of starting to feel like all major sports out here are rigged. It's starting to be like WWE. And I'm not trying to take nothing to speak bad about wrestling because I love wrestling too. But wrestling is scripted. You dig what I'm saying? The action, they're really out there body slamming each other and diving off shit and smacking each other. That's just real. So let's not get it confused. When I'm talking about that, that's why I didn't want to say it wasn't real. I just want to say scripted because it's more, you know what I mean? It's more authentic to what it really is. You dig? But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. With everything going on, we need the distraction. Whip up who's. What could be the biggest thing on earth right now? Oh, if this fucking team that sucked ass for like 20 years wins a fucking Super Bowl. You dig what I'm saying? What can we sneak by at the end of the year or the beginning of the year that we don't want people, you know what they say, give them the circus or give them the, I forgot. It's I believe it's a Greek quote or whatever, you know what I mean? I forgot, you know what I mean? Yeah, just know that I'm high and I feel great. So anyways, that's what I'm saying. Hot take. I don't give a fuck. If you don't like it, get in the comments and fight me. Major, I don't care, especially for you cats that just won a Super Bowl or a championship for the first time. And you're in your mind, it's like, there's no way this is rigged. You never know. Especially those new teams that ain't really been either those old teams that ain't never won shit and all of a sudden you win a fucking championship, or those new teams, those startup franchises that win a championship real fast. It's like, you sure your shit not rigged? Sure, when y'all started y'all shit, y'all didn't throw a couple extra little 100 million somewhere to make sure that y'all buy that first championship real soon? Because you gotta lock in the locals. You don't want to be like a team that recently moved and is showing a whole new demographic of fans how disappointing it is to be actually their fan base. I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna say nothing. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, I can't knock them neither. I feel like it's rigged, so maybe they have it out for this particular team. They have been victims of a lot of flagrant and shady calls, as well as my team. So I keep an open mind, but I'm just saying that was just the only example that I can make. But anyways, don't nobody get mad at me. I'm just talking sports. I'm not taking shots at you personally, because a lot of people get upset at that too. And it's like, before we used to be able to go on social media and get under comments and talk shit about fucking sports and whatnot, but then some people start taking it too far, or sometimes start reading in between the lines too much and thinking that stuff is being said that's not. I had to tone it down because I didn't want to be like alienating my friends or making them feel bad, or it's not, and it's different. Like, I don't say like, oh, y'all, this is making them feel bad and shit. Nah, I mean, like, some people they really live and die for that shit, and it's like calling them, it's like, if you say something, it's like you're calling them that, you dig? I know some diehard motherfuckers that's like, you talking about my team, you talking about me. So So like I said, I don't do that no more because it's not worth it. You know what I mean? And that's growth. That's progression out of me. Because before we all, back in the days, we thirst for fucking conflict. And now as we get older, you start to realize that you could get a lot done with not conflict, with being a little diplomatic. You feel me? And that doesn't mean that you have to tone yourself down. It just means that you have to be sure that you are more calculated about what you say and how you say it, and be understanding of the possible consequences or outcomes of communicating in a certain way or fashion. Anyways, so we're gonna keep it going. I got one more last topic. You know me. If you know me, I grew up in that era, so it's like whenever I see documentaries, all the stuff from when I was a child, whether it be movies or music, whatever, I'm into it. I'm a nostalgia guy. You feel me? So you can find me referencing shit from the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, and even the early 2000s. You dig? So with that being said, the new documentary is out now called Dear Mama. It's from one of my all-time favorite artists, Tupac, and it's about, it's about his mother and his relationship. And he was like the first guy to really be holding his mom down in lyrics. And then now everybody, like, I'm not gonna say he was the first guy, because everybody's always rapped about their mother and how, hopefully how much that she meant to them. We have countless examples in rap, but I think he took it to another level when he made Dear Mama. You know what I mean? Because that was a fully exposed album. Record. It's like, yo, you're talking about your mama being a crackhead. You feel me? That shit is not easy. You dig? But he's the first to do a lot of different shit. So the documentary, I like it. I like the idea of it. I feel like there should be more content from artists of that era in general, or just that era period, like the early 90s to the late 90s, from like 90 to 99. That whole decade was a lot of dope music, a lot of classic movements and different shit coming out that era. And I don't feel like there's enough documentaries when it comes to just the times of then. I'm sure there is, and I'm sure everyone's gonna be like, yo, have you seen this? Have you seen that? No. Yes, but not too many from the perspective of the artists that I like growing up. You know what I'm saying? Or the movies that I watched growing up, or the books that I read growing up, or whatever the case might be, So I like it, but also the fact that it's also directed by one of the Hughes brothers. I'm not a real big fan of that. I don't know how the family feels. Obviously, I watched the first episode so far. It is really well put together. It's nice. I think it's only 2 episodes. I'm not sure, but I like it, and I think it's really dope. It came out it's really put together. They got a lot of dope interviews from family members and people that you don't commonly hear from when it comes to these interviews and stuff. Because a lot of people still give interviews about that era in music, and you hear the funny shit, like not too long ago. What was his name? What's it called? It was Keith Murray. He went viral not too long ago, telling a story from back in the day, and he was referring to some rappers and some females rappers and MCs that we know and stuff like that. So things like that to me is interesting, because it's like I'm finally getting the backstory. Like now it's different. A lot of artists, they give you the backstory to what they're doing right away. But like back in the day, this whole pre-social media era was so lit. Like you didn't there's no way that you could put it in words. But when people recap those eras and stuff like that, I feel like it's dope, because I got to see both sides. I got to see the post and pre-social media and internet era, and both are lit in their own ways. But it was something about back then, because it was like, yo, when you was out, you was out. You left your house, nobody knew where the fuck you were until you wanted to be known where you were at, or until you came back home. And that's why our parents used to kick our fucking ass, because we would leave and you wouldn't know when we were coming back. There was no phones, cell phones. They would probably had pagers, but when I was young, there wasn't no pagers like that. Pagers were for doctors and motherfuckers that sold crack. You feel me? Big crack. So, you know what I mean? Like when you left the house, that's why our parents used to get on our ass, because we leave the house. There was no hearing from you unless you took some change, hit a payphone. Imagine that. I heard they're trying to phase out change now. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's the future is now, but to me, that's a different era. So, you had to have lived it to really understand it. But these documentaries do give you a idea. It's also dope to see that no idea is original. A lot of the newer generation really does hate on this generation. And I don't know if that's just a generational thing or whatever, but you could see where when you take a listen to old music, you could see where a lot of the blueprints for new music came from. And not to say that none of it's original or that these new artists ain't coming up with totally different sounds. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you got to give that respect to the new artists that are coming out with these different new sounds. That was always what the idea was for music, was to push the envelope to the next level. What else can we go? And we all know that it goes in cycles, and it might come back to this or it might go further. Who knows? But we have countless examples of that. But it's dope. It's some dope shit. I'm gonna check it out. I'm on the fence, like I said, because it's one of the Hughes brothers directing it. And for anybody that knows, Tupac was supposed to be in Menace to Society. That was gonna be his role. Actually, he was gonna play what was his name? Sharif. You know what I'm saying? The Muslim homie that's always on everybody's line, for anybody that watched that movie. So he was supposed to play that role. Never got to play it because he got into a fight with the Hughes brothers. Pac and his folks allegedly jumped him and beat him up, and they took him to court. They pressed charges on him. The Hughes brothers did. Same people that made Dead Presidents and Menace to Society and countless other dope pictures. I'm not gonna lie, they made some fire ass films, but they did all that shit. So, Pac died. They never resolved it. There was never no, I'm cool. To the day he died, it was fuck them. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm hoping that Pac's camp, because they obviously had to authorize it, had a real good hand in what was going on and how it was being, how they're portraying Pac, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm still mad at that motherfucking Tupac movie. I'm mad as fuck that they even did him like that. Like, I feel like they made it intentionally corny, like the Notorious movie, because the Notorious movie was corny as fuck. That shit looked like that shit was borderline a Lifetime movie right now. You dig what I'm saying? It was corny. You dig? So when they had the Pac movie and I seen how corny it was, I was just not with it. It was the same shit to me. And it was because, with that movie, they didn't give you anything that you didn't know. Like, the thing I like about this documentary so far that I've watched is I'm learning a lot of shit that I didn't know. And that shit's cool to me, like I said, because I'm interested in all that stuff, because that's my childhood. So, the Tupac movie, it just told you all the shit that we already know. He went, he came up from Digital Underground, all this and all this other shit, right? So to me, I think the documentary is so far so good, but I'm kind of on the fence, because it's like, for me, I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all know me. For anybody that know me and that don't know me, it's hard for me to tell somebody, fuck you, like I'm done fucking with you. But when I'm done fucking with you, I'm done fucking with you, right? So just know that I don't give a fuck what happens to me. Nah, I ain't fucking with you at all. It ain't good. Don't come to my funeral with that fake shit. Don't do none of that shit. Oh God, if you didn't fuck with me in real life, don't fuck with me at all. It's cool, you know what I mean? And all the people that I've known, and that's the difference, okay? So like, it's a difference for people that you've known for a hell of years, and then you guys just drift apart, and life takes you in different directions and shit. That's different. I talk a motherfucker that I don't fuck with, like fuck you, like it's on sight type shit. Those motherfuckers don't come to my funeral fake. Don't try to be in there, none of that. I don't, you know what I mean? Don't do that to yourself. Just like don't unfollow me to follow me. You dig what I'm saying? Don't follow me, then unfollow me. There's a couple people that keep doing that shit to me. I'm starting to worry if I have a stalker, because I out of respect and people that and in music and stuff, when people follow you follow them back, because I don't feel like I'm better than anybody. You dig what I'm saying? Now, do I follow everyone back? No, I don't, because I try to follow people that pertain to what I'm trying to accomplish. So if you're not doing that and you're living a different kind of lifestyle, that I'm not hating, you know what I mean? But at the same time, social media is what you make it. So besides the algorithm trying to tell you what you like, you liking shit is what you like. So if you want to, use social media and try to have like a more positive experience, then you need to follow accounts that pertain to and look at stuff that pertain to what you are and what you're trying to do. Social media is cool. It could be a tool to be used and stuff to make stuff, but you got to fucking use it as a tool. You can't let that shit use you. But anyways, I feel like I'm talking about an old school 1980s crack infomercial. You feel me? One of those, this is your brain on drugs type shit. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully it comes out good. Hopefully, I hate when people, try to like defame and change people's legacies after they're gone. And that's what's kind of going on right now, because there's a lot of artists and stuff that passed away. And and this pertains to this new generation, just be prepared for this. A lot of your favorite artists that passed away, as time drifts on, people are going to come out the woodwork and have a lot of different stories that you may not have heard. And then you're going to have a lot of people that come out and try to distort those stories and tell you that they didn't happen the way they did, when it's kind of already documented. You know, what it is, as time goes on, people try to shift the line on history, and they try to change it, and they try to chip away at legacies so that it could fit or look like what they want it to look. Now, I say this with a grain of salt, because I also know that that's what, what's it called? Motherfuckers say when their history is fake and foul. And they be trying to be like, oh yeah, they're just trying to shift the narrative. No. I'm talking about truthful, factual shit. So let's not get that straight. When shit is factual, it's been proven factual, it's out there. It's, people know what it is and what it ain't. And that's what I'm referring to, because that's also, don't keep, like I said, keep in mind, people will use that defense to try to justify their bullshit history and the lies and all the other shit that they did. Oh, well, he was a patriot, or he was this, he was that. It's like, come on, he was also a racist. He was also a slave owner. Let's not leave out all those other things. You dig what I'm saying? But when those things are not what they are, like when some people will try to make up narratives about a certain person after they pass away, and you know that that's not true, the case, and it's not really verified, you got to start wondering why people are hating. And there's a lot of Pac hate going on right now. A lot of people are hating on him that were supposedly his friend. So just remember, be wary of that, because as time goes on, more and more people are going to come to the light and tell you more shit that you didn't know that was true, and more shit that was, or you're going to see people trying to destroy their legacy come out and say things that are unverified, and just to say things, because there's a lot of that, man. You could go in right now, like, it's crazy how, I'm all for the Vlad interviews and the art of dialogues and stuff like that, but then it's like, at some point also, it's like, what is the truth and what's not? Because people go on there and they let them cap. They let them say shit that's definitely not true, but it's their story, it's their truth, their question marks. Yeah, I hate when people use that term, by the way. I mean, yes, everybody has their own truth, but then there's also the truth. Like, what you might think and feel, that's your truth, but what's factually the truth is just the truth. You do what I'm saying? If it, you know what I mean? A shark's a shark. You know what I mean? A cat's a cat. You dig what I'm saying? So, people got to stop using that and stop confusing the two, because, your truth might be the truth, but, a lot of people use that, like, because they don't want to hear it. So they're like, nah, this is my truth. Like, it's like, no, yeah, I get that. That's your truth. That's what you believe. But the facts are this. So just remember that. You can believe what you want, but reality's right here. You know what I mean? And it smacks us all in the face every now and then. So with that being said, it's the No Invite Podcast. Thank you guys for kicking it for my fucking rant. Your boy tries to have a healthy balance of people here to check me, so I'm very restrained today. Just know that your boy is making sure that he don't fucking go off the deep end with a rant or talk some crazy shit. But that's because, I usually have Ann, Hot Mama. She kind of rides with the bullshit too, because we kind of agree on a lot of shit. But for the most part, she doesn't always agree with my shit. And at the same time, I feel like she's more wild than me when it comes to shit. So I'm like the one that's playing it cool when it's me and her. And same thing. Britt, I feel like she's gonna check me, or at least question my what I'm saying, which is good. I need that. And what's it called? Peebo, aka Patty, you feel me? 16th well, she's definitely gonna call me on my shit. She's gonna call me on my shit. She don't give a fuck how I feel. And she's a lot smarter than I am when it comes to certain things, especially emotional intelligence, I'm gonna say. So she'll definitely check your boy. And that's what it's about, you know what I mean? You want to have people, a circle of people that you fucking, that are going to make sure that they big you up when you do something right. Be your folks and back your play. But they also got to tell you when you're fucking up at. And if you ain't got people around you that's telling you got a booger in your nose dangling around and shit, or you got some crust on the side in your eye, or hey, maybe you shouldn't do that because, you're, whatever the case might be, then them ain't your real folks. Just keep that in mind. You know what I mean? I'm here and I'm gonna tell you the fucking truth, and I don't even fucking know you. And that's only because some of y'all motherfuckers need that. It's like we said it on the last episode. Some people need somebody else to validate how they feel instead of them doing it for themselves. You know what I mean? Somebody needed the doctor to tell her that she was not high. You feel me? You know, but I was telling her that she was high, and somebody needed to tell her that she was high, because when you don't think that person's qualified to tell you nothing, you're not going to listen to it. So anyways, your boy is on his rant shit. You can find us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast. You could also go to our YouTube channel. That's RiBirth Media Films. You could go on there and you can add us, subscribe to the channel, check out our Zoom as well as audio only podcast. We also have a bunch of vlogs on there. Like I said, the spread vlog is up right now. That's on RiBirth Media Films with a Z. You can go on there and check out all our dope content. You can check us out, DM us on the Instagram, and make sure, most importantly, to brush your teeth, because some of y'all be having that fucking, you know, what do they call that? Damn, what the fuck was that? Damn, you know what was that shit? Back in the day, we used to say all the time. I forgot, man. You know, I'm high, like I said, man. Hold on, let me fire up the joint real quick before I let y'all go. Maybe it'll come back to me. Oh yeah, some of that Zackley. Some motherfuckers walk around here with some of that Zackley breath, and they're like, "What's Zackley?" It's like that breath that smells like exactly like the crack of your ass. Smells exactly like shit. You feel me? So don't have the Zackley. Brush your grill. Make sure you take care of your mouth and watch your mouth, most importantly. You feel what I'm saying? This is where Patty or somebody would take the wheel and tell me to shut the fuck up. So I'm gonna do it for y'all.